guys, let me show you how to get this clean, nice, very demure, cutesy makeup look. Keep watching. We're starting with the brows. I'm using my NYX eyebrow glue and then just brushing that through my eyebrows here just to make sure that my eyebrow stays in place and it does not move throughout the day. So you want to take your time, just coat each and every hairs of your brow hair. And the next thing, I'm going to do some skin prep. This is actually from Primark, guys. So it's meant to be the Bobbi Brown tube, but I don't think it is. But I just love how it feels on my skin. It's quite smooth and it's thick and it's very, very hydrating. And honestly, try it before you knock it, okay? Try it before you knock it. You want to take your time really and then just massage this into your skin. You know, make sure that your skin really absorbs this because you don't want the product to be lying on your skin and you go put makeup on, it's just going to be slipping and sliding. And honestly, I love the way it feels on my skin. Next step is foundation. This is my NARS Cosmetic foundation in shade GLAM, and it's a love and hate relationship with me and this foundation. Sometimes I love it, sometimes it's like, nah, it's too orange, or sometimes it's too like sandy looking. I just cannot explain it, but this day I was loving it. It matches my skin to perfection. It's full coverage. It's, of course, you can still, if you want the makeup to be a bit full coverage, you can use more, you can use less. I just love it, and I love how smoothly it applies onto my skin. With tapping motion, you want to blend that all into your skin, making sure there's no streaky lines or there's no lines on the skin. Next step is concealer. If you know me, then you know I love my e.l.f. concealers. They are so nice and creamy, and honestly, I love using them. This shade here is a bit orange for me, but I did that because I wanted this look to be very warm. So I'm going to be putting a lighter concealer later on just to brighten my inner corner eyes. But for now, this is the one I'm using, and it applies on so smoothly. So what you want to do is just apply that in the areas where you want to highlight, and then you go in and contour and bronze if you need to. This is from Made by Mitchell. It's the curve case in shade Deep. I'm just using the this bronzy shade. It's a bit of a brownish reddish undertone, and I just love how this looks on like my skin. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and bronze or blonde with this because I'm also blushing, but I'm just using this fast. And I love this palette because it's got all the shades, contour, bronzing shade, and it's got blushes as well. So you get a pink blush, you get a light pale pink blush, and you get orange blush as well. I think it's worth the price, honestly. The reason I do all this while my concealer is still setting is because I like my concealer to dry down a bit. And once my concealer dries down a bit, it gives more coverage and it's easier for me to work with. When it's still wet or like freshly applied, it can slip and slide, you can get less coverage and you can get streakiness, and also you can get creases under your eye as well. Now I love this contour. I just go right underneath the bronzer. So contour goes underneath the bronzer and blush goes on top of the bronzer. And you just make sure you blend that in together. Make sure there's no lines between the bronzer and the contour. You know, I want to give myself a little cheekbone. It's giving model. It's giving, you know, Vogue magazine. Anyway, once that is done, I'm going to go ahead with blush. Today, I decided to use e.l.f. blush as well. This is a product I got in PR and I wanted to try it on. I'm not mad at it, and because it's such a pale orange looking blush, when you blend it out, it sort of looks pink, and I think it's just the skin tone. If somebody of a lighter complexion was to use it, I'm sure it would look proper orange. To me, it looked more pink than orange, and also it's got some shimmer. Like, I was just noticing the shimmer when I used it for the first time. It was very shimmery. So if you just want a pale, like a blush look without shimmers, maybe this is not the product for you. But I didn't mind it at all. I liked the shimmer because that would sort of highlight my cheekbones without me actually highlight it, if that makes sense. So now it's time to blend the concealer. So I start from my chin, blending that in, just tapping in place, not moving it too much because of course that's gonna like flatten out my face. So I just blend it in place to sort of contour and highlight at the same time to make sure the darker side where I've contoured and bronze stays darker and where I'm blending the concealer into stays lighter. So guys, let me know if you guys like these voiceovers type of videos, or if you want me to be talking while doing the makeup, or if you just want music. Please let me know. So I want to appreciate you all for your support so far. I have gained so many people and so many subscribers onto this channel, and I can only hope that one day I can make this my full-time job. So far, thank you so much for your support and your continued support, because of course I will need more videos to come. I'll try to be as consistent as I can be, but just keep showing up and showing out. The under eye, I love blending the under eye. You want to look up when you blend the under eye to make sure that your under eye does not crease. And I've heard this so many times, and I think it's the biggest lie ever told, that you can stop creases under your eyes. I feel like no matter how much you prep your under eye, you do different techniques, you are still going to get some creases. Okay, you cannot take the creases out. If you have a folding under eye, like I do a bit, not as much, but if you genetically you just have under eyes that have got natural creases, of course when you do makeup is going to go into the creases. What you can do is to use less concealer, less product under your eye, so that way the product is not as visible, but it does not mean that the creases will not still be there. Now I'm just using the lighter shade, like I said earlier, to sort of brighten my under eye. This is from Studio London, and it's the fairest concealer that they have. I forgot the shade now. It just blend that in place, just in the inner corner, just to give my under eye a bit of a oomph. So this concealer, I'm not letting it to dry, because this concealer, you have to work with it when it's still freshly applied. Once it dries, you're going to be struggling to blend it out. So I just apply just that a little bit, blend that out quickly, go move on to the next eye, and also blend that out as well. So while blending, I'm just going to also bring that lighter concealer into the inner part of my eyes, just to brighten out that part where it's in between my nose and my eyebrows. So I just blend that in place, just, be meticulous about it. Not bringing it completely to cover the entire eye, just the inner corners. After I'm done with all the blending and I can say I'm happy with the placement, I go back in with my foundation brush. With this, I just make sure that there is no demarcation between anything. I blend everything back up, blend the concealers where the concealer and the contour and the bronzer meet. Make sure it's all smooth and there is no lines or anything at all. So next thing I'd love to do now is press powder before loose powder. This press powder is from Maybelline. It's the shade Natural Beige. That's 220. And honestly, before I go in, I make sure to blend my under eye again to avoid creasing. And I get a powder puff, and I just go ahead, press that into the powder, and then just press underneath my eye while looking straight. Also make sure to look up and then press underneath my eyes, just to make sure that if I have any creasing or anything like that, the pressed powder will just freeze it in place and those creases will not form. So again, blend your under eye before you powder it. If you powder it without blending it one more time, best believe you're going to be setting creases underneath your eyes. And we don't want that. No, we don't. Next step is to get my MAC powder. This is in shade, I think it's NW45, but I just get a powder brush and then just use this to set the rest of my face. So just set everywhere else, because if you don't set it, you just set it under your eye, your makeup is just going to look a bit oily, for me at least, because I'm quite oily. It just looks oily and it's just be slipping and sliding throughout the day. It would not last long. So make sure you set the rest of your face before you go in with your powder bronzer, powder brush, anything really. Showing you guys that highlighter that I got from the blush. You can see it. I didn't highlight my face, but you can see how highlighted it looks. Next step is loose powder. I'm using this one from One Size, and it's very, very orange, but I do love how warm it looks. So I'm just going to use that to sort of bake and set the under eyes as well. Just taking your time, pressing that in at the same time, because I'm not really going to wait too long before I dust off the excess powder. Once I'm done with the under eye, what I do next is I just take the excess that is on the powder puff, and then I just press everywhere else, like my forehead, my chin, my cupid's bow, my nose, everywhere else that I need setting. I just go ahead and do that again. I have no idea why I did not do my brows first today, but I'm going to do my brows now. I'm using this NYX eyebrow pencil, and I love the shade. It's in the shade Espresso, and I just love how precise it is, and it's so nice. It matches my eyebrow color perfectly. So I just go ahead and quickly just light strokes, and then I fill in my brows. I'm not really doing too much to my brows because I like the shape of my natural brows. All I'm doing is just making it fuller and just making sure that there's no sparseness or there's no spaces in between my lash and my eyebrows. Once that is done, it's time to conceal. So I'm using the same concealer I used to conceal my under eye. I just place that onto my brows, and at this stage you want to take your time, okay? Just slowly, you don't have to rush it, just press it in place, and then I get a brush and then I blend that out just to make sure that it's not like a line underneath my brows, just to make it a bit seamless. The next step is to do eyeshadow. So I want my eyeshadow to last long, so I'm going to be using an eyeshadow primer. This is from Urban Decay. I really love this product. You can already see there's barely anything in there, and I'm still holding on to it. I use it to the last drop, and I mean it, the last drop. I'm definitely getting my money's worth from this product. So this product works best for you to use your fingers to blend that out before you go in with a brush, because otherwise if you go in with a brush first, it's going to be looking streaky. So I go on with my fingers, blend that in, and then I just use a bit of concealer, the same concealer again, Elf Cosmetics multifunctional product. So I just blend that onto my lid, just cleaning up everything, just so I get like a clean canvas to work on. I'm using my P. Louise If the Crowns Fits eyeshadow palette. I love this eyeshadow palette. I need to use it more. I don't use it as much as I would love to, but yeah. But today I'm just doing sort of a clean, icy-ish eye look, and I'm just placing the brown part, the brown eyeshadow on my crease. Just sort of define my eyes, because now there is no color to my eyes. I'm just putting some definition there. I'm using a small brush for this one because I want to be a bit precise as to where I put the product. Next step is to get a lighter brown and blend the edges out. I'm just getting a fluffy brush now. I just blend the edges out so it doesn't look like I've got a brown line in my eyes. This process is not sped up or anything, so you guys can see how slow I am moving with this product, and I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing it, I'm not stamping it in. It's a little circular motion, and I'm blending that out. Then the next thing, I'm going to get a darker shade and then blend the outer corner of my eyes to give me more definition. Again, using a smaller brush, making sure I'm flicking that out to give me sort of a cat eye look, even though I don't have a cat eye look. So guys, question, am I the only one that think cat eye shadow looks does not suit myself, or am I wrong? Because I feel like each time I've done cat eye looks, unless it's just a liner, whenever I do it, because I've got hooded eyes, it just looks a bit weird. I feel like more rounded eyeshadow looks better on me. Am I delusional, or am I not seeing it? Again, I've just gone in with my fluffy brush and then just blended the entire thing out a bit more. So it looks a bit smoky, but not really. Like, just look at what I'm doing. I think you seeing it explains it better than my words. For the inner part of my eyes, I'm going to brighten that up. Believe it or not, this is not a concealer. This is an eyeshadow color. And I love how the eyeshadows are so pigmented. So I just grabbed a bit on a flat brush and I just sort of pressing that in. I'll go ahead and blend it out in a moment, but all I want is just to press it in first, keep the product in place, and then I get a little fluffy brush, and then I go ahead and blend that in place after. I'm not using an eyeliner for this look, so I'm just going to use that same eyeshadow color I used earlier, and I'm just going to sort of line my eyes with it, and then flick it out as well, give it a bit of a smoky feel. And honestly, I think I'm still in between eyeliners, okay? But I think if you're not eyeliner lover, this is perfect for you. You can see it's quite smooth. It's not as harsh as the liner would be. But yeah, so I just go back in because I want the inner part of my eyes to be quite bright. I'm just going to press that eyeshadow back in again. Now it's time for mascara. I'm using my MAC mascara. This mascara is quite nice because it coats each and every ears, and at me, I am on the struggle bus when it comes to lashes. But even at that, you can still see there's still something there with this mascara. So I go ahead, apply my mascara. After the eyes are done, before I put lashes on, I'm just going to finish off the rest of my face. So I'm just sort of highlighting my cheekbone a bit. I'm not letting this stay. I'm just pressing the powder in, and then I'm just going to go straight ahead with a brush, and then just brush that out. I'm just doing that just so it gives me a bit of a, contoured look. Of course, my eyes are still baking, so at this stage, once I'm done dusting off all the powder, I'm going to go ahead on the under eye, also dust off the excess powder, press in to the skin, whatever I need to do, and I just make sure that the base is looking yummy before I proceed. Now it's time for lashes. These lashes are so versatile. They are from TikTok shop. I cannot believe that I can get this fluffiness, cuteness from eyelash that I got off TikTok. About TikTok, if you're not yet following me on TikTok, what are you waiting for? Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. It's still the same username, Makeupbyqueensley. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and press the powder into my skin because of course I want the under eye to look flawless. So I'm just sort of contouring my nose as well at the same time. Press my forehead, my cupid's bow. Now the next step is a bit of bronzer. I love a bronzing look. And of course, I'm not going to use any other bronzer other than the One Size Bronzing Trio. And I love this color. It's such a brown. Again, it matches the bronzer I used earlier from Made by Mitchell. It's such a brown, orangey, reddish. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see it on my face. It just looks yummy. And if you're a dark skin girl, this is a perfect powder brush bronzer for you. And the other two shades, of course, you can use those for contouring as well, but I just love this one the most out of the other two. The other two I would use if I wasn't doing any eyeshadow. I would use the other two to sort of do like an eyeshadow-ish look. And then of course, do not forget your nose. Go ahead, contour your nose. Even though when you smile your nose spread, don't worry, still contour the nose. It still needs contouring. That is done contouring. I go ahead with my powder brush and I just sort of brush it out just so it doesn't look like I've got two lines on my nose. So just to soften it a bit more. We have to finish the eye look. I just get that darker shade again and then I just put that onto my, not waterline, like underneath the waterline, because if you get this on your waterline, your eye is going to be irritated because it's a powder product. So I just make sure to sort of put that underneath there on each side of my eyes. I really don't like doing my mascara at this stage. Keep watching to find out why. For lip combo, I'm using this Makeup Revolution liner in shade TGIF. I love how warm and orange, almost brown. It's a brown lip liner, but it's giving orange, dark brown-ish color, almost reddish. I don't know how to explain it, but I just love how it looks on my lip. I go ahead, line my lip. I do not really overline as much, but I just overline just on my cupid's bow area, and I just did a bit of lines in there just to give me a bit of a dimension on my lips. And then once that is done, just press my lips together to blend it. I believe pressing your lips together is the best way to blend your lip liner. Using a brush, all of that is cool, but when you press it together, you get a perfect blended lip. So I'm using two pink lip glosses from NYX Cosmetics as well. First lip gloss I'm using is a very pale pinky girly lip gloss. I go ahead and put that on in the middle, and then all over the lip I use the other pink shade that is a bit darker, and that just gives my lip a very nice plump juicy look. For blush, I'm using my Treacle Cosmetics blush in shade Sally Sunset. I love how orange this look because I wanted the look to be very warm. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that to the apples of my cheeks just to give me that orangey blushy look. Black girly orange blush is top tier. Orange blush will make you look juicy. I also like to place my blush on my forehead, my chin, and my nose as well. And honestly, I just love how it makes my makeup so cohesive. It just ties all the look together. And once that is done, I'm just going to go ahead and apply some plumping lip gloss. This lip gloss is also from Studio London. Honestly, the thing be like, there's spiciness on it. Like, it gets my lips so juicy and plump. It's annoying. I love it. So next step is setting spray. I'm using my Urban Decay setting spray as well, all nighter setting spray, and it's quite mattifying. So once I spray that on, I just get a fan, brush my under eye again with the Maybelline powder just to, you know, make sure my under eye stays matte. And voila, we are finally done. Okay, my bad, I lied. We're almost done. So I'm going to get a lighter eyeshadow color that is quite shimmery, and I'm going to put that in the inner corners of my eyes just to make my eyes brighter. Can you see that difference? Like, it brightens the inner corner of the eyes so much. And I'm going to use the same shade to also highlight my nose, so the tip of my nose and then the middle part of my nose. I'm just going to, you see, oh, that is so sickening. Apply to the inner corner of my nose as well, just to give me that cute button nose. I go ahead and press that out just to make sure it's not like I have got a line on my nose. So now that we're all done with the setting spray, I'm going to apply my mascara now. The only reason why I do my mascara after I've done everything else is because if I did my mascara beforehand and then I go ahead to set my face, my lashes are quite long. So if I set my face after I've done my mascara, the mascara is going to definitely stain my under eyes. It's something that I've been doing and it's been working for me. Okay, if you have long lower lashes, maybe do your everything first, set your face before you apply your mascara. Maybe that would, you know, stop the stain underneath your eyes before mascara. Look at that, no stain whatsoever. My underlash are looking popping, they are looking nice, the old makeup is looking delicioso, and I'm looking like a fine babe that I am. Guys, if you enjoyed watching the video this far, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a suggestion of what you'd like to see next. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and of course leave a pink art emoji for me in the comment section. I would really appreciate that. Thank you once again for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah.